if you go to Dandora right now, Dandora Phase 4, where I grew up, there's a group of, there's 45 kids from the age of, to the youngest to the oldest are called probably 16. They've been going through a program for a whole year. And the program was founded by a guy called Dash Jontes. Dash Jontes, now I rewind here, so. Dash Jontes, he recently got a funding to run a program for a whole year. And they got a space, and the space is beautiful. Ukiingia huko yani hata unashangaa hii ni Dandora gani, una get rangi poa, ni safi, toilet are good, whatever wanacheza. If you go in a normal day, every room there's activities, there's studio there and stuff like that. And it was founded by Dash Jontes. So Dash Jontes alianzisha program inaitwa Ndoto Zetu. Now Dash Jontes joined age yake juu ni mfupi. Unaona, nobody knows his name. Okay, sijamuuliza pia, so siwezi sema. If you rewind 2015, 2014, nilikuwa nimeenda Dandora at the dam site, and I grew up in that area, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So Dash Jonte tuko tumeenda nimeleta walami, unaona wazungu na waleta walami ni wazungu, nyewe sawa St. Mary's. Unaona? Nimewangam nimekuwaona sawa. So nimepeleka walami because I had this vision. I wanted to do something. I wanted to set up an institution where I wanted to buy a property and set up a center for young people. And I'll tell you why. So nimeenda, and then walami masande best zao wakiingia kwa dam site, and if I'm sure probably amjaikuwa isipokuwa Irongo ameshakuwa huko kwa dam site. It's hills of damp. Unaona hizo takataka zenyu mtumia hapa ziwe ndapu huko sana. And hills, and for years, imagine I'm 40 years old sahi, tangu nikuwe mtoi zilikuwa ziko na bado ziko sahi, so you can imagine the heap. So nikapeleka walami hapo, and I was showing them around the dam side. Hey, unajua that's the biggest hill. You know, when we grew up there, we used to play football there, or we used to see dead bodies when they were being so kitambo, when guys are killed and you don't want to be found, you're thrown. There's an ever-ending fire burning in Dandora. Nika hell, unajua, like it's just right. It's always. So, yeah. So that's where so napatia. Nam climatize kwa hiyo no man, no. And then we saw one guy, and then the guy was a scavenger, one of the dam site. And then he came and said, "Hey, ni aje Juliani? Mimi unajua pia mimi na rapping nini," and then he had a friend hapo. And then he started rapping. And then I can't forget the song. Don't leave me, usiponiacha God, fall down. Alafu akarap, Mungu sijui nini. And then the video actually is on YouTube. So the person who rapped to me that day, alikuwa scavenger, alikuwa takataka na okota takataka, is the one who founded Ndoto Zetu right now. Dash Jonte. So years later, nilifanya mchango, I put some deposit, we bought some property hapo, a 3-story building, in the middle of the dam site. So Dandora, kuna phase 1, kuna phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Tulikuwa kwa dam site where the river is. So you could see the river, where the river is. So we bought a property. Unfortunately, some months ago, Gaveli came to demolish your building. And then now, so story ndefu. But the reason I'm telling you that story is because the way I came to Dandora, and 2015, by the time 2015 imefika 2014, I was already Juliani, you know get? Juliani, you get? So it's like niko najulikana, and so if I get into Dandora, I don't just get into Dandora. Lazima ni get into Dandora. So lazima entourage poa nini, security nini, you get? Jimini Julia? Si Juliani ni Julia. That's the one. So the way immediately entered Dandora, and then I met these people, and I met Dash, and I met everybody else, and we started the program. It's the same way I remember when I was as a young boy, Dandora, when I was growing up in Dandora, and I was in probably Form 1, Form 2, when I started hip hop and started doing music. And my mentors were Kalamashaka then. Kalamashaka, and then we started rapping. Sikuwa poor crime, so singeweza kufanya crime, unaona, like ushaona I'm bad at crime. I was really bad at crime, unaona. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't be, mimi mdogo, so siwezi kwa kifua, unaget, like it doesn't work. So, but I was really good at literature and I'm really good at writing, you know, so I was really good at that. So one of the things, nikaanza kurap nini, the best, I believe Mau Mau Camp is the best, whatever, like the pioneers of Kenyan hip hop as we know it right now. And urban culture, actually, I dare say, not just hip hop, urban culture as we know it right now. So one day I perform, and I'm performing Florida 2000. And I'm performing so it has to be a rite of passage. So if you're a uko flani Mau Mau rapper, you have to go through Florida 2000 and you have to win competitions. And I won each and every. Nilikuwa bad. So one day the guy came and it was Kama Keshaka. So I call him the high priest. Kama Keshaka knows everything. He knows everything about why white people are white. You know, like why white people have long nini and sisi tuko na kubwa. Like the guy can explain to you Illuminati wanashingi wapi. You know, like he can tell you all these things, you know. So I call him the high priest because he knows a lot about a lot of things, and I really was like basking in his presence every time he started talking, speaking about stuff. So one day me perform F2 nimeshinda competition kama kaniambia, "Hey Juliani." Because at that time I was hanging out with Duko Flani Mau Mau because I was just nilikuwa nahepa shule na hang out nao hapo. And then we used to have a ritual, something called kibakuli. So kibakuli is a kasinia kakubwa, and then you have like, okay, ni pilau basically. Pilau, but ni kubwa, and all of us have to eat from it. So we are Uko Flani Mau Mau, we are like 15 guys. We used to eat from the same, whatever. So I was hanging out with them. I started growing my dreads. Nimeanza kusag, unaona, nimeanza kubehave ni kama mimi msowole wa hip hop, unaona. So kama one day came and said, "Bro, kwanza leo wewe ni Mau Mau Camp." Life yangu really changed, man. I was affirmed as a person to now start rapping. So nikianza kurap, sikuji kama Julie. Okay, nilikuwa na jina fani. Jina yangu initially ilikuwa inaitwa Mbokali, you know, like because I loved DMX sana. So kabla ninge stage lazima nibueke kidogo ndio. And if I look back and I was taking stock of my life and everything, what led me to be here, I can literally pinpoint people who, out of nowhere, because they had no. That's how I know. So if I want to know that I'm literally on direction to something and I'm up to something and I'm about to do something, I use people as landmarks. And people as landmarks means my peers, wakikama waniambia venye mimi mkali as a rapper, or have a really good idea. It's good and it feels nice, ndio. But when an outsider that you don't even have no connection whatsoever, anakama anakwambia there is something here, it means something, ndio. And that's why that's what, looking back, I can count. I can say Kama Keshaka, I can say Njugush and DJ Mo's K-Crew, I can say Kanji Mbogwa. He taught me how to perform live. Mimi naza chape hivi vyombo hapa vibaya sana, unaona. I can say Emmanuel Jal. He called me out of nowhere from UK. He told me, signed me to his record label, and I became, my first album was fully sponsored and stuff like that. And I can point each and every individual that outside my circle and outside whatever that got me to who I am right now. So the reason why naspiga hizi stories zote ndio nisipoteza wakati wenu, niko na theory, na niko na theory of change. And kabla niambie hiyo theory ndio nimaliza na theory. So last year I was selected for a fellowship inaitwa Azna Fellowship. Na najua wase wa Azna wako hapa a few. So the Eisenhower Fellowship, I was selected for Eisenhower Fellowship 2023. So I went to the US for 6 weeks. Unaona. For 10 states, 6 weeks. Every 3 days in a different state. Yani. It was the most amazing experience I've ever had. Yani. And then nilikuwa na share na walami my ideas. Unaona mimi nimesema ideas. Unaona. So nilikuwa naambia bro, yani unajua nilikuwa nawapanga, unaona. Like, kizungu yangu imeisha sahi, but for real. Like, like I have really good vocabulary. I have my P's around, you know, like these are my P I've been nazo. So like I'm really, so Nikawapanga and now this amazing idea because of Dandora Hip Hop City. I also have we have something we've been working on for 4 years. It's been in a Taka Bank. I've been working on it for years, yeah, you know. And so walami naambia, man, this is brilliant. Wananiambia vaje hii ni kali, unaona, yani mimi niko charge, and then nikakam Nairobi, man. Hey, Nairobi. I was depressed for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I guarantee Nairobi hakuna mtu ananifeel my ideas, man. So one of the things I learned when I was in the fellowship, and Nuru took me to the interview, and she told me whatever. It's not just because we had that. She selected me and then Tony and everybody else selected me for the Eisenhower Fellowship because of my work in the community. But also the first time I met Nuru, Walkona Kenya Bank Association. And then she asked me to speak to guys who are Madare, and then I can leap and speak. Kwanza hiyo siku nikaanza kucharge myself for speaking, by the way. Na niko na red card. You know, so yeah, and then after hapo she had this guy she wanted to support, and she didn't know alikuwa ametoka sijui mtaa gani, and she wanted to invest in the guy, and she asked me to help her throughout the whole thing. So nimemwona through your, and one of the things I learned ndio niwaambia theory of change is something called trust. And from the guy I was in Dandora, there's only thing, all the people that I mentioned, I haven't even mentioned other people. All the people that I mentioned, I didn't need to earn trust. Trust was given. You're too deep, bro. I'd never, like, and I was telling this even to my wife, you know, and I'm sure, okay, nilikuwa najitetea, but nilikuwa, no, nisikize, nilikuwa najitetea. Nilikuwa naambia, trust is not, it's not earned. And nobody, I can never do enough to make you feel comfortable for us to do something together. It's you to extend yourself and to extend the grace and give it. No. And I guarantee you, the trust that you give make me work a little bit extra, go a little bit harder. And if I look at the string of what helped me achieve or become who I wanted to be, it's because people just came and anakurushia mawe hapo, anakurushia literally people used to come and wanakurushia dough, or wanakurushia time. I remember I went to Bob's, the late Bob's. Okay, fun fact, I'm the only guy who used to send Bob money and pesa. There's nobody in history who has done that. Okay, look, when he handed Bob every time, just to remind him that I'm the boss, you know. I use airtime, so, you know, so Bob sometimes used to invite me for his boardroom meetings and stuff like that. And you hear these things, and another guy called Diren Chandari. Mimi msogete tu hapo nimekana dread zangu, nasikiza sijui IMF wanapiga story, si IMF. There's this guy, nimesahau now. So people trust you. You don't need to do anything to prove that you deserve something. It's them to just extend that to you. And that's the only string in my life that I've seen and I want to share with you. Please trust yourself. Nobody need to earn. Yesu angekufa ingekuwa God amesha account watu 50. Wala ta get saved ama whoever. He just trusted. And even when you trust, do not attach an end to it. Because the reason why you always be disappointed is because you attach an outcome to it. So when you attach an outcome, you'll always be disappointed, unfortunately. So that's what I've learned throughout career yangu as an artist. And that's what I've learned na life yangu and Nuru when I met her. They just trusted. I didn't need to do anything beyond being me to be given an opportunity. And that's how I believe the world should be working. Sindio? So ningekama hapa hivi nikimalizia, ningekama hapa ningewaambia fun facts about me. I'm the first guy to jamaa aliandika kitabu yangu inaitwa Pulpit Street, the VC for USIU right now. So alienda akastudy lyrics zangu, akaandika kitabu. Naweza waambia hivyo, naweza waambia I've worked with World Bank, Google, I've worked with nini, I've done concerts, nimefunga barabara hiyo, whatever, just so that you believe that I deserve your time. Haifai kwa hivyo, man, unaona? So nashukuru sana kwa hiyo wakati. Nimebeba time yenu. Okay, wacha tu niseme ya mwisho please. I wanted to say the theory of change. Just so that you can use it in your startup, you can use it in your life. Formula, I came up with this, you know, and I like it. So if you come from nothingness and you have an end in mind, so we always told hope is not a strategy, so hope is a strategy, in my opinion, because before even faith actually is the second thing you do. The first thing you hope, because you have a circumstance and you see something different. There's a distance between what you're experiencing now and what you want to see baadaye. Sindio? Because when tulikuwa mtaani, unakaa, you want to be the biggest hip hop artist ever. Na uko kwa mawe tu hapo uko zako, unaget? That's hope. And then faith is more action based, sindio? So now you hope and you've seen yourself and you imagine yourself. Now you have faith. Now you know it can be done. Then you have faith. And then the next one is Mesao. But environment. Environment. And I didn't have the right word for it. Environment is what I'm trying to say about what we're talking about, Nuru and everybody else. If the environment allows you, trust you, gives you beyond you expected even of yourself, you'll be surprised what human beings can do. And that's why I saw it in Dash, and I can point 10 other people in Dandora right now who are taking charge of their lives just because they were trusted and the environment was created the environment that was created for them was hawakuwa na choice but to succeed. Hawakuwa judged, hawakuwa funny. Nashukuru, Mungu awabariki.